everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Gathering. The story I'm about to tell didn't actually happen to me, it happened to my eldest sister Janice. Janice always loved to sew. She made lots of things for her children, for the family, for friends, on the sewing machine that she bought when she was very first married. It was one of those sewing machines that came in a wooden cabinet, so it was a furniture piece as well. One day she went to turn the sewing machine on and the light bulb had blown in it. Being that it was a very old machine and she'd had it for many, many years, they no longer made the bulbs for this machine. And so she had to buy a new one. She bought a new modern one. And it sat next to the old machine. Many years later, sadly, my other sister Lynn passed away. And Lynn used to love to wear the colours red and black. And she had this favourite outfit, which was a black skirt and a red jacket. And my eldest sister Janice had actually made the red jacket for her. The sudden loss of Lynn, of course, saddened us all. Probably about 6 months after Lynn died, my oldest sister Janice was sitting in her armchair at night watching TV. When out of the corner of her eye, she saw a glowing light. She wasn't sure what it was, but something made her not get up off her chair. She could see that this light was glowing stronger and stronger, but still she felt the need to stay in her chair. She started to turn her head ever so slightly and ever so slowly towards her left. And when she did, she saw the light of her old broken sewing machine glowing brightly. She thought it was a trick of her eyes. She rubbed her eyes. She hadn't been asleep. She had been watching a TV show. Then to her amazement, shock, was my sister Lynn standing next to the sewing machine. Lynn had a smile on her face and her arms clasped in front of her like she always did. She never stood with her hands on her hips. She always had her hands clasped in front of her. And there was Lynn in her black skirt and her red jacket, smiling softly at my sister. Janice was not afraid, but at the same time she was too afraid to move because she did not want to lose the sight of seeing Lynn and her sewing machine light glowing brightly. Some time passed and Janice had the courage to stand up and turn around fully to face the sewing machine. And as she did so, my sister started slowly fading away. Janice started to cry. She was extremely emotional, of course, but the light on that sewing machine still glowed brightly. Janice then sat back in her chair and continued to watch the TV, feeling a lot of comfort. She felt safe, she felt at ease, and very, very comforted. After she finished watching her TV show, she got up and turned the TV off to head to bed. But she just did not want to leave the room where the light was still glowing on her old, broken sewing machine. Luckily, her bedroom door faced the living area where the sewing machine was situated. So she got into bed and just kept looking at the light. She dozed off, and when she awoke, the light was off. It was no longer shining brightly. She knew that Lynn had come to visit her because my elder sister Janice had been feeling a bit down. She wasn't in a good place at that time, and I think Lynn knew that Janice needed her spirits lifted. Janice made some very important decisions from that day and improved her life to an enjoyable one that she enjoys to this day. That was a little bit of an emotional thing for me to talk about because the loss of our sister was tragic and sudden. But Janice now lives with the comfort that Lynn came one last time in the red jacket that she'd sewn for her. And even though my sister still has that sewing machine, it has never, ever lit up again.